Hi, Mamish here. Today I'm going to explain an action comedy film called Bullet Train. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film opens at a hospital in Tokyo. Yuichi Kimura, or the father, Andrew Koji, is by the side of his son Dale Wataru, Kevin Akiyoshi Ching, who was pushed off an upside whereas his father Dale was absent. Yuichi's father, the elder, Hiroyuki Sanada, arrives and reminds his son that fathers are presupposed to defend their families. Yuichi pops to seek out whoever hurt his son from him. Associate assassin named Lady Beetle, Brad Pitt, is returning to figure once a leave of absence. He considers the name ironic, as he doesn't believe he's lucky like ladybugs typically are. He's jointly filling certain another assassin, Carver, who is sick. Lady Beetle speaks to his handler, Maria Beetle, Sandra Bullock, who assigns him to board a passenger train heading from Edo to Kyoto. His task of hers is to recover a case containing cash with a train sticker on the handle. As he makes his means over, Lady Beetle gets saw by Yuichi, inflicting him to drop a key to a locker and his train ticket. Lady Beetle breaks into the locker to seek out a gun in there, however he declines to require it, despite Maria's insistence on her. Aboard the train are twin brother assassins, Tangerine, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Lemon, Brian Tyree Henry. They were sent by a criminal offense boss called the White Death, Michael Shannon, to recover his son from him, Logan Lerman. As he's a junkie that can't be trustworthy on his own from him. Lemon lives a lot of his philosophy primarily based off Thomas the Tank Engine, and he relates bound folks to characters from the show. Tangerine explains to Lemon regarding, however, White Death was a Russian wanderer who over-up operating because the mainest man of a Yakuza boss named Minegishi, Nobuaki Shimamoto, till he ended up forming his own gang associate revealing Minegishi and killing him. Lemon and Tangerine with the case. She desires Yuichi's facilitate in rigging the briefcase and giving it to White Death to kill him. Patrician features also rigged a gun to blow his head once the trigger is pulled. So as to force Yuichi to cooperate, Patrician tells him that she has an accessory at the hospital able to kill Wataru if he doesn't hear from her. Lady Beetle recovers the briefcase, however is told by the conductor, Masaoka, that he should get off at the primary stop as a result of he didn't have his price tag on him. Before he steps out, he's found by another assassin called the Wolf, Bad Bunny. A flashback shows Wolf operating his far within the syndicate below a boss known as El Carnegie Gigantea, Julio Gabe, then finding a mate, Andrea Munoz. However, every knee at Wolf's wedding was poisoned, together with El Carnegie Gigantea and Wolf's wife. He believes Lady Beetle is accountable for their deaths, and he makes an attempt to kill him. The two fight in the bar automotive before Wolf's knife bounces off the case and plunges into his heart, killing him. Lady Beetle covers up Wolf's wounds and calls Maria. She informs him that he was a cocktail waiter at Wolf's wedding, and conjointly the strong drink served there was spiked with poison from a boomslang snake that was taken from a zoological garden in Edo and is really on the train. The two fight in the bar automotive before Wolf's knife bounces off the case and plunges into his heart, killing him. Lady Beetle covers up Wolf's wounds and calls Maria. She informs him that he was a cocktail waiter at Wolf's wedding, and conjointly the strong drink served there was spiked with poison from a boomslang snake that was taken from a zoological garden in Edo and is really on the train. Lemon and Tangerine discover the case is missing. The two fight in the bar automotive before Wolf's knife bounces off the case and plunges into his heart, killing him. Lady Beetle covers up Wolf's wounds and calls Maria. She informs him that he was a cocktail waiter at Wolf's wedding, and conjointly the strong drinks served there was spiked with poison from a boomslang snake that was taken from a zoological garden in Edo and is really on the train. Lemon and Tangerine discover the case is missing, and the son has also been poisoned to death. They calmly go about and clean the blood before going off to seek out Lady Beetle. Lady Beetle encounters Lemon within the quiet automotive and acknowledges him from employment in Johannesburg. They fight, with Lady Beetle making an attempt to disarm Lemon. Ladybug ultimately knocks Lemon out and spikes his bottle with sleeping powder. Lady Beetle then switches covering with associate other writer, Channing Tatum, and talks to Maria again. She tells him that another assassin, the Hornet, Zazie Beetz, was employed by White Death and is on the train. Meanwhile, Tangerine should get off at Consequent Stop and Short to satisfy with White Death's goons to assure them that the duty goes consistent with plan. Tangerine finds Lady Beetle and fights him. Basic cognitive process that Lady Beetle poisoned White Death's son. Lady Beetle opens an emergency door and causes the two to almost fly out of the train before propulsion themselves back in. White Death contacts Tangerine to let him recognize that if they are doing not show up with the son and therefore the briefcase, he can kill everybody on the train. The two conceive to fool White Death's men by sitting his brothers and employing a completely different briefcase. However, Lady Beetle accidentally opens it and blows their cover, forcing them to run back onto the train. Lady Beetle then kicks Tangerine off the train before it starts moving again, but he manages to hop back on board. Before it pulls away too fast, Lemon comes across Yuichi Associate D. Patrician, wherever he quickly determines that each of them don't seem to be there for noble purposes. Lemon shoots Yuichi, however he is aware of not trusting Prince. Unfortunately, he drank the spiked water and lands up passing out. Prince shoots Lemon within the chest and stashes him and Yuichi in the bathroom. Lady Beetle runs into Hornet, who was in disguise on the train as an anime character before swapping garments with the concession woman, Karen Fukuhara. She scarfs the boomslang snake from the zoological garden and uses its venom to kill her victims, because the venom freezes the blood and makes the victims bleed from each orifice. Vespid poisoned everybody at Wolf's wedding, as she was conjointly there as a pastry chef. Lady Beetle fights Vespid, who is there to gather her payment from her. She tries to stay him with a syringe containing the venom, however he takes a lightweight jab whereas sticking out her with the remainder of it. Hornet tries to administer the anti-venom, but Lady Beetle takes it from Radiella first Diella and watches her crawl away to die. Tangerine finds Lemon's body within the restroom and tries to travel once his killer. He talks to White Death once more, who says that he bought all price tag to Kyoto, therefore there would only be the remaining few on the train. Tangerine runs into Patrician and is nearly fooled by her till he sees that Lemon left a sticker of the character Diesel from Thomas, which means he knew she was a villain. Before Tangerine will kill Patrician, Lady Beetle Ella finds him again and fights him, ending with Lady Beetle shooting Tangerine within Ella's neck, effort him to bleed out before he can warn Lady Beetle regarding Prince. Lady Beetle tries to induce Prince off the train at the next stop, however she deliberately keeps them on, casually him together with her innocent act. The elder then boards the train since he overheard Patrician on the phone and knew one thing was wrong on the train. He sits close to Lady Beetle and Patrician till Lady Beetle gets frightened away once the boomslang snake comes and bites him. The elder confronts Patrician, who prepares as her accessory de ella gets able tokal wataru. However, the elder ready for this and had his own assassin sitting as a nurse, and he or she conjointly tells the story of how he was Menejishi's original friend before White Death betrayed them, and he has vowed revenge on White Death for the death of his wife from him. Kills Prince's guy before he will bid Wataru. Prince flees, and Lady Beetle returns. The elder talks to him regarding, however, Lady Beetle thinks he's unlucky, and leaves him with the idea that everything happens for a reason. I have, Yuichi and Lemon then wake up, as Lemon was sporting a bulletproof vest. Once he sees that Tangerine is dead, he becomes infuriated and tries to travel once Ladybug, however Yuichi and therefore the elder have them work along as they prepare to face White Death. The train arrives in Kyoto as White Death prepares to board. Patrician confronts him, and it's disclosed that they're father and daughter. She wished to induce his attention from her since he favored his son from her, and he or she makes an attempt to get him to kill himself with the rigged gun, however he merely walks far from making an attempt to kill her. The others confront him outside, whereas White Death's goons attempt to open the rigged briefcase. White Death then explains that everybody there on train was there as a result of he musical group it. He has wanted revenge for the death of his mate, Johanna Watts, who was killed in an exceedingly automotive accident that was an assassination try on him. Lemon and Tangerine killed White Death's men on employment in Bolivia, and he equipped them with data on alternative assassins. He conjointly didn't look after his son DL, as his wife's conceived to bail him out once more from his crimes junction rectifier to her death. Vespid was lured there as a result of she poisoned the doctor that would have saved his wife's life. Finally, he believes Lady Beetle is Carver Ryan Reynolds, who musical group the assassination attempt. He was reckoning on all the assassins to kill every other. The case then explodes even as Lemon gets the train to start out running. Lady Beetle runs back on and is pursued by White Death and his goons from him. The elder battles White Death on the train whereas Lady Beetle and Lemon fight the henchmen because the train speeds out of control. As they kill the henchmen, Lady Beetle makes an attempt to hit the emergency brakes. Lemon lands up throwing himself and therefore the last accessory out of the train as they jump over a bridge. Before White Death will kill the elder, Lady Beetle hits the brakes, and elder seizes a chance to impale his enemy about to death. The train then derails and crashes into a town. The living men exit the train, and White Death makes an attempt to execute Lady Beetle. However, he grabbed the rigged gun and blows 0.5 his own head off. Patrician then tries to complete off Lady Beetle and therefore the Kimuras, but she gets run over by a tangerine truck. Maria then arrives in the flesh to rescue Ladybug whereas he elements with the Kimuras. He has embraced a positive outlook on life and believes he is very lucky. Until a phone pole comes blooming down onto Maria's car, forcing them to walk. Because the credits start, we have a tendency to see that Lemon survived the autumn off the train and hijacked the tangerine truck, therefore he might run over Patrician and revenge Tangerine. And believes he is very lucky. Until a phone pole comes blooming down onto Maria's car, forcing them to walk. Because the credits start, we have a tendency to see that Lemon survived the autumn off the train and hijacked the tangerine truck, therefore he might run over Patrician and revenge Tangerine.